So, hallo, ich möchte euch alle recht herzlich hier begrüßen. Ich bin jetzt hier mit Ken Grossman. Er ist der Chef von der Brauerei Sierra Nevada in Chico, Kalifornien. Und ja, wir haben uns rein zufällig einfach kennengelernt auch. Ist natürlich, die Brauerfamilie ist eine große Familie und Ken Grossman ist ja kein unbeschriebenes Blatt in der Brauerszene und der Craft-Bier-Szene. Das erste Mal seine ersten Biere in Anfang der 80er Jahre gebraut, hatte natürlich schon vorher Berührung damit. Aber das wird er uns jetzt selbst mal auch erklären, wie so sein ganzer Werdegang war und warum er jetzt hier mit mir sitzt. Ken, hello.
Hello.
Awesome to have you here at Mahrs Brewing Company.
Well, thank you. You've been a gracious host. We've really enjoyed our last couple of days.
Thank you. And yeah, I told my fans already like who you are and what the name of your brewery is, but they really would like to know more about your what inspires you to start brewing, or what is your inspiration, why you came to Germany, and what is the deal, why we're sitting here right now?
Well, actually, I started as a hobbyist home brewer back in 1969 when there wasn't really much going on in America as far as interesting beers. I opened a homebrew supply shop selling ingredients for hobbyist home winemakers and home brewers in the mid-'70s, and then 1978 I decided I wanted to be a brewer for my career, and I sold my homebrew shop and I started studying beer and brewing and wrote a business plan and opened one of America's first small breweries. Back in those days there was only about 45 companies making beer in America total. That included all the big brewers and all the small brewers. Today we have nearly 4,000 brewers in America, and we were at the beginning of that revolution of small brewers making interesting beers. So the craft scene today is so different than it was when we started. The distributor, the people taking beer to the stores or to the restaurants, they didn't know much about beer, and so we had to educate the distributors and we had to educate the restaurant owners and the bar owners about why our beer was different and unique and would find favor with a lot of consumers. And then we had to do a lot of beer festivals, beer tasting, in order to introduce our beer to new people.
So that means also that beer is not just that you brew beer, you have to tell also the people the story behind that and what is beer. And I mean, I think it's the same what we have in Germany now, it's like when I grow as Maßbräu with my U-beer, is it because the industry beers, they lose it, so the people, they like to know the brewer, they like to see the face behind the beer, they want to taste the beer, they want to get information. And I think this is what we learn from the Americans now, because it's still not so famous like that we give up so much information to our customers, but the customers, they asking way more questions now. Can you tell me something about your most selling beer? What you do is, are you doing classic beers kind of German style way, like you work with the purity law in your brewery, or you say, no, I don't need the purity law, I'm a craft beer brewer, I take everything what I want? I mean, this is what a lot of people say now, America, they do everything, but I think it's like you're not this kind of brewer. You're very focusing also on German level or German styles, or Europe styles.
European styles, yeah. We very much do follow the spirit of the purity law. So we're using in almost all of our beers all malt. We're using whole cone hops. We don't use any other products.
And I know you grow your own raw materials.
We make some beer, estate beer. We actually grow organic barley and organic hops on our own farm, and we're, I think, one of the only brewers in the world that has a true estate beer where we've actually farmed it ourselves. We've grown the barley, we've grown the hops, and we make a special beer once every year out of those ingredients.
Okay. And what brought you over to Bamberg, by the way? It's like, or when it was the first time that you came to Bamberg, and why you're so hooked on this town?
So I just happened to stumble on Bamberg. We actually, in the late 80s, made a trip through Europe. We were visiting breweries, and we went to Pilsner Urquell in Czechoslovakia back when it was a little hard to get into. and we toured that brewery, and then we were driving back and stopped in Bamberg to spend the night, and ended up loving it here and spent 2 nights, and I've been coming back ever since.
For us, I think it's a big pleasure that an American brewing company and very well known in the United States and one of the top beers in the US, asking Mahrs Brewing Company for doing a collaboration. I think Bamberg has a special feeling for people also in the United States, you know, and I think this will be also push us on different ways, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for us, the tradition of brewing in Germany is obviously one of the greatest in the world, and you know, there's a lot of knowledge and a lot that I think we can learn by working together. But on the other hand, what's happened in America has accelerated, I think, beer and brewing knowledge with the consumer, and that's an area I think we can help build that understanding between brewers and customers about beer and beer styles and how to make great beer.
Also, a good thing is we found a very good variety of hops. And I think we talked about different barley already, and might be yeast what we want to use for our next program next year. And I think it will be a fantastic time to work with the brewer masters, you know, Scott Jennings, with Brian, his son, you know, over in North Carolina, to make the beer happen in United States. Ken, thanks for coming out to Mahrs Brewing Company, and pleasure to have you over here. And still enjoy the rest of your trip here in Bamberg, and I hope to see you soon again.
Well, we will welcome you to our brewery in North Carolina, and you and your uncle will hopefully get to come on over, and he can teach our chefs something about German food in our kitchen, and we can work together on the beer.
I will bring Burkhard for sure. He will love to show you guys to cook Franconian types of classic food. Excellent. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.